It's really nice to offer so many people the opportunity to see people that they don't see every day. Many of you I see often, and it's just my pleasure to bring you greetings this morning. My name, for those of you that I do not see all the time, my name is Lamar Gorey, and I have the absolute pleasure of serving as superintendent of schools here in Caddo Parish. And we're so excited to have you come and spend half a day with us. We will stay on time, and one thing I've stressed with leadership and with staff as we plan this event, that we have some very important people here today who have very important schedules, so we will get you back on time so that you can go about your business. But this morning we did want to take this opportunity just to showcase some work that we are extremely proud of. Of course, we work very diligently every day to produce our very best in all of our schools. But as a city, as a school system, we have struggled because of the performance of some of our chronic low-performing schools. One of the first charges that I take on as a superintendent, and this was a charge from the board, but more importantly, it was a charge from the community and a charge from the children, is to improve the performance in all of our schools, but especially looking at those schools where students are failing. These schools are failing. So we have done countless hours of work, we've done a partnership with the University of Virginia, and we've really put our heart and souls into turning these schools around. And we want to do this not only for the city, but mainly for the children. We do believe that this school system will be better. This school system will be more productive. This city will be a better attractor of economic development. It will be a better steward of all that we've been blessed with when we turn these schools around. And we really feel we're on our way to doing just that. Again, it's my pleasure to welcome you. This time I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Billy Snow. Billy is our District Transformation Innovation Officer, and he has worked very closely with the effort that you will see today.
Right, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for taking time out of your day. My official title is District Transformation and Innovation Officer, and I love the word transformation because we are truly working to transform the lives of children. And what you're going to see today, we are taking an elementary focus today. We have our secondary schools that are doing final exams. So we're taking for this trip an elementary focus where we're visiting 3 of our elementary schools. And then in the spring semester, we're going to do another trip. And so you'll hear a little bit more about that later. But you're going to find out the agenda is to visit 3 campuses and walk some classrooms with those leaders that we have in the room. And then also with campus leaders and walk classes, and then transition to the next campus. And at the end, when we get to Westwood Elementary, we will spend some time in their data room doing a question and answer and talking about all of the things that are making the transformation work. At that time, when we get to Westwood, you will all get some documents, some handouts basically. Westwood, Atkins, and Midway have put together some facts and figures about their school change, and then I have put together some information for y'all as well, so you'll get those talking points and have some questions and answers as well. I'm not going to take up a lot of this time because I wanted to introduce you to Clay Walker. Clay Walker is one of our partners from Juvenile Justice, and he and his folks have been partnering with the Transformation Zone by working with de-escalation and discipline and strategies to help our campuses with support and wraparound services. So I wanted Clay to talk to the group for just a few minutes about what this partnership really means, what the Transformation Zone really means, and then share some positive data with you as well. So Clay Walker, everybody.
Good morning. And I'm going to pay attention to the time to get on the bus. The Transformation Zone and what I think are real-time changes that have happened under this administration. I'm going to kind of take a little time to talk about these guys like they're not actually standing there. As taxpayers, what we're looking for in the changes from this administration to see what they're going to do differently about these failing schools that we have in the community. And from the juvenile justice perspective, just real quickly to understand, juvenile justice in Louisiana started a reform process about 1999. We had some terrible state prisons, we had federal lawsuits, we had federal settlements, all sorts of things that are going on in juvenile. As part of that reform process, we've traveled all over. We've seen the Georgia, Florida, New Jersey. There's a model system in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Portland, Oregon. We've seen a lot of systems that work. And the ones that work well, the school system, the school discipline system, and juvenile court work really well together. There's a spectrum of school discipline from detention and in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, all the way. When it connects to the juvenile justice system, it really needs to be seamless. And there's two parts of that. You don't want it to be so seamless that kids are too easily arrested and put into the system. You don't want to arrest a kid that's got A's and B's and has a school fight. Because in the odd psychology of the adolescent mind, that kid may be more attracted to bad behavior because of that. They'll come out of juvie with a notch in their belt, and that's not something we want as a school system. So you don't want arrests to happen too easily. And and with all respect to past administrations, but in past administrations, we've not had a great conversation about that. We've had some trouble where we had too many kids being arrested. And we'd have 1,500, 2,000 kids arrested, and it wasn't working well to outsource them to discipline. The flip side of that is when you have a kid that does need to be arrested, you have chronically bad behavior, lots of school fights, threatening teachers, actual battery on teachers, that teacher does need to be arrested. The problem with it is, historically, when the child is arrested, paperwork sent to the DA, and about 5-7 months later, they'll be prosecuted. Because from the district attorney's perspective, a school fight is pretty low on the priority list. They're dealing with rapes and murders and serious stuff in the community. So 5 or 7 months later for a prosecution is useless. What we're trying to do is change the child's behavior. And if the consequences are 7 months later, you're not changing the child's behavior. I mean, if you tell your own kid, if you put your hand in that cookie jar, I'm going to ground you in 7 months. You're not changing that behavior. So the systems need to work well together. You don't want to arrest too many, but when you do have a child that's acting up, it's better to have a better relationship with probation. The assistant principal of discipline could call a probation officer. If that kid is on probation, you're not prosecuting him in 7 months. Probation officer will be there in 15 minutes. And that child will have consequences today, tonight, this weekend. You can have the spectrum of discipline, out of school suspension, and community service this weekend on probation, and you've got immediate response, and you're changing the behavior. That's the kind of relationship you have to have. And what we've been doing, so when Billy starts in this very room, we start talking about, and communities and schools is part of it, we start talking about wraparound services. The families that need real substantive social service needs met. You have discipline needs in the school. I mean, we want the teachers to feel safe. You're going to have teachers quit and drop out of the whole system if they're being threatened at a school. You've got to stop that. You've got to have a safe environment. And so Billy says, well, then come to the 2 middle schools in the transformation zone that we're still having some trouble with. We brought over every probation officer that has a kid on probation. They have their cell phone numbers. They call immediately. We're there in that 15 minutes. That's the kind of relationship you have to have between the school system and the juvenile justice system to try to address the kids that are having that kind of problem. And the data shows the outcomes already, which is pretty remarkable. It is Dr. Gorey's first semester. It's his opening semester. Right now, we should have, I looked back to about 2010, we should have roughly 185 arrests from school this time in the school year. We've had this year 97. So it's still a lot, but it's almost a 50% reduction. But more importantly, and I think what we're doing here today, we're here to observe today climate and culture in a school. And it's kind of a catchphrase, it's this year's new phrase, but it's actually real and it's very important. And the data is this. Fair Park and Woodlawn, 2 schools in the last 5 years have been struggling. They've had a lot of trouble. We've had a lot of teachers that are having trouble at those schools. 2 years ago, I was in Roy Murray's office, Director of Security, and we're talking about what can you do at Fair Park. I mean, it's on fire. They're bringing police vans to arrest all the kids they have to arrest. Sorry about that. Detention. That's a bad sign. So, I'm in with Roy Murray, and we're literally talking about, do we need to post probation officers at the school? Do we need to bring a judge to the school and start doing like court at the school? I mean, it's that bad at Fair Park. So this time of the school year, we should have roughly, over the last 5 years, an average of about 75 arrests from Fair Park and Woodlawn together. Those are our troubled schools, and they're the ones that the state's looking to take over. This year so far, 5. That's Dr. Gorey's first opening semester. 2 arrests at one school and 3 at the other in all these months. And it's normally 75. That kind of the culture and climate change. Part of what we're going to be talking about, I think, as a community are the test scores at those schools. And we're going to get judged at the test scores at those schools. What I'd like to kind of say, and that's, the test scores are more y'all's work, but they're schools again. I mean, Fair Park is a school again. When you have 2 arrests instead of 45, 2 years ago, the kids are recording the fights, putting them on Facebook, and then everybody that got beat up in that one has to come back and retaliate the next one, and it just snowballs. The culture change there, the conversation that I'm having with Billy at Woodlawn is we don't have enough teachers. There's too few teachers, we need more certified teachers, there's too many full-time substitutes. But the conversation we're having is an academic conversation. 2 years ago with Roy Murray, we're talking about bringing in, police and National Guard, literally. That's the kind of conversation. So that's the climate and culture change. And I think what we definitely want to do today is observe the climate and culture firsthand so that you as community members have firsthand knowledge and can share it and be part of the conversation about the climate and culture change. So I'm very excited to be here. Any kind of data questions I'd like to share in the conversation when we get to Westwood, but I'm going to try to stay on time.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Keith Burton, our Chief Academic Officer.
Thank you very much. It's our pleasure again to welcome you, and I'm in charge of logistics today, so I want to make sure we are on the bus on the right time and exiting the right time. Let me apologize ahead for you receiving either a Christmas tree or a stocking. Sometimes an ex-elementary school principal is very hard to not organize people in an elementary way. Where are the trees? If you're a tree, all right. Trees, you will be led by Dr. Gorey. He's going to be your group leader. So you have a task because you have to make sure he's on the bus on time. I'm not worried about the
I'm not on
participants.
logistics for a reason.
I am more worried about you having him on the bus.
And we have to be on our best behavior.
Exactly right. Exactly right. What about stockings? Where are we? All right, you're with me. All right, so glad to have you.
You'll be the first ones on the bus.
That's right. We will be on time. Snowflakes, where are they? All right, snowflakes are with Dr. Mary Nash Robinson, our Chief of Staff.
You're lucky.
What about snowmen? Snowmen, I'll give you a hint, or I'll ask you. Who do you think you're with?
Billy Snow.
Billy Snow. That's right. And lastly, Christmas lights. If you have a Christmas lights, you are with our Assistant Director of Communications, Mary Nash Wood. Before we leave, I just ask, first of all, if you would introduce yourself, maybe tell what organization you're with, and if you have anything today that you're excited about seeing or what you're looking for on our visit.
I'm Lila Nicely. I'm President-elect of the Junior League of Shreveport-Bossier, and I'm very excited to get to Westwood. We've been spending a lot of time there this year, and I love every time I walk in there. So.
Okay, great. Thank you for coming.
And I'm Kathy Bonds, the Director of the Fair Park High School Alumni Association, and I'm excited to see what's happening in the elementary schools because that will eventually affect our high schools.
I'm Dottie Bell, school board member, District 12, really all 12 of them. And I'm excited really just to see everything working like it is. Compliments to you, Dr. Gorey, your idea.
And totally appreciate your support. She is in everything. We tend to, I say we're one district, but we like to play individual districts. But still truly appreciate your support of this effort because these are not in her district.
My name is Jean Humphrey, and I'm with Image Changers, Inc. And I'm excited about the elementary school visits, particularly one schools.
My name is Shonda Houston Doty. I'm Director of Youth Programs at Volunteers for Youth Justice. And for the past 8 years, we have a partnership with Cattle Parish where we do the school fight diversion program, now conflict resolution program. And we've seen principals be more proactive this year. We've had a lot of principals referring kids for prevention of fights. And so we're really excited about how that's working and have seen good results.
Great, thank you.
Good morning, I'm Darren Dixon, work at Southern University Shreveport, but I'm here representing the Shreveport Board of African American Chamber of Commerce. And do I follow suit and tell what I'm excited about? Well, I'm excited that I got invited on this trip to see the transformation. I've been in several round tables with Billy and Dr. Gorey and Mr. Burton have come to talk about the changes that are happening in school, but we'll get to see it firsthand. It's going to be great.
Perfect. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I'm Taylor McDonald. I'm with the Alliance for Education, and I'm excited. We've been working with Billy, and we're just excited about our partnership going forward.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm David Aubrey. I'm here today representing AT&T. I serve as Regional Director for External and Legislative Affairs in North Louisiana. Thank you for the invitation and look forward to learning about the transformation.
Thank you for coming.
I'm Jackie Lansdale. I'm president of the River United, representing teachers and school employees in Caddo, Bossier, and River Parish. And I am extremely excited about the candid and game-changing remarks made by Clay Walker today.
Yeah, that's exciting.
You're going to see the proof soon. Africa.
Hi, I'm Africa Price, Executive Director of Step Forward, and we're in 2 pilot schools. One is in the zone, one is not. But I am in the zone a lot, and I'm excited that the school district is taking this opportunity to market this to people who don't get to see it all the time, because there's really some good work going on. And I'm glad the press is here.
I'm Allison Bath. I'm the executive editor of The Times, and I am thrilled to hear what Clay Walker is talking about and looking forward to learning more.
Glad to have you.
I'm Clay, and I want to point out one little known fact about Dottie Bell. Her son is a probation officer in Caddo Parish and saves children's lives every day.
Okay.
Keep it working, please.
In our documentary today.
I'm Marion Marks. I'm a real-life educator. I work in the justice system, and I'm an activist.
Glad to have you.
I'm James Woolfolk. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Caddo Parish Schools, and I'm just so excited to see so many community partners that are interested in the great things that's happening in Caddo Parish Schools.
I'm Amy Fela. I'm president of Caddo District PTA, and I have been working with parent leaders in some of these schools before this new transition even began. So I've seen and heard their concerns and knew what those schools were like. So I'm excited to be able to see the changes and spread that news throughout all of our PTA leaders, to our PTA leaders in the district.
Great, thank you.
I'm Mary Nashwood. I serve as the Assistant Director of Communications for Caddo Schools, and I'm excited for everyone to really see what I've been looking to see for years. This has been a generation coming, and so I'm excited for you to see the power of what we've been able to do in just a few months.
I'm Paula Hickman, Executive Director of the Community Foundation. And I just have to say, wow. I mean, this is a season of hope and light, but y'all epitomize it. And it is just a powerful thing, I think, for our community. What we've been doing at the foundation for the 10 years I've been there is trying to align the work of the nonprofit community and the monies available in our community for positive outcome. And so we are so thrilled to be able to partner with CIS, with the Transformation Zone, step forward with many of these initiatives that are, and definitely the Caddo Parish school system, to align our work for our children. And so
And you've been there since day one, so thank you very much.
Really have.
I'm Carolyn Spade Gonzalez, and I consult various organizations on business and education issues. Prior to here, I worked at Communities in Schools and at Miami-Dade County Public Schools, though I'm from here. And right now I'm working with Volunteers of America to bring Communities in Schools, to pilot Communities in Schools, which is a wraparound services organization, to Caddo Parish. And that brings the needed services in the community to the school for the children with a specific plan and use of data to track what they really need. A couple of things come to mind is, one, right now none of the pilot schools are in the zone, though my guess would be if the pilot is successful, that would be our next place of growth, would be my guess, because I know the children in these schools need a lot of help from the various organizations. And two, I'm happy to see just the community and all sectors of the community coming together today, and I think even outside of today, to wrap themselves around the children to see how we can lift them up.
Thank you. Well, very good.
Good morning, all. I'm the other Mary Nash. I'm Mary Nash Robinson, and I serve the district as chief of staff. I work the HR piece of our business, and I'm just truly excited about the fact that you're going to meet teachers in classrooms and school employees with a brand new attitude about what it is they do and how they get their business done. I appreciate so much that you're interested in getting to know them, and looking forward to a grand time. I guarantee you that this will be a contagious experience for you.
Sir?
I'm Kevin Briley, and I too dedicate my working hours to helping at-risk children all around the country, and I'm here today with the Alliance for Education, and I'm really excited about seeing the positive change going on here in Cattle Parish School.
Well, we've talked enough. You ready to see it? Let's load the bus.
Come on, trees.